my Area 51 line. You're on the air. Hello.
Welcome to the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast, where what you've known as reality will be shattered by the truth. Krista and Brandy will lift the veil from your eyes, revealing what has either been hidden or denied you for eons.
Hey, happy Thursday, everybody.
Happy Thursday.
You know what, Brandy, I gotta tell you, just listening to Tex with that opening.
Yeah.
I think he was tired when he did it. What do you think?
No, he had to have been tired.
Yeah, I think about that every time, but I always forget to say something. So
he does it right before going to bed. He's like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna do that now and just have that voice.
Right. Yeah, because he's really, really got a deep voice in that video. That's hilarious. So Anyway, happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to Blondes and Booze. We how's your day?
Well, you know, it's been one of the better days I've had in the last month.
Really?
And it's been pretty cool. I was like, okay. I mean, not the best, but it's been cool. I was like, okay. Maybe we're making a upward movement away from what's been happening. I'm hoping.
There you go. Good deal then.
It can't get any worse, you know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but it's Thursday, you know, we've got one more day.
Yep. I don't have to go in tomorrow, and we have a mandatory work meeting at noon, and it will go from like noon to 4 tomorrow. So I got all my hours in. I don't have to log in until it's noon on Zoom. So
well, that's nice.
Yeah, so I get to sleep in.
Well, there you go.
I'm looking forward to that too. Honestly, not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, I mean, I still have one more day before I could sleep in, but still, I mean, it is still nice to have a job like that. I mean, you're truly blessed to have a job like that. Right. You know, and it amazes me how nice it is for you to be able to do a lot of things and get stuff done like that. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Honestly, it is. So
not for us schlubs, you know, the rest of us schlubs have to go to work all the time.
Well, I'm a schlub too. I do work. I do have to go to work.
You do, but at least they allow you to do what you need to do.
They do. And since I live like in St. Charles County, it's quite a little drive over to St. Louis. So they allow me on days like that just not to even come in and work.
Right.
So anyway, I got my hours in, so I'm not clocking in till noon tomorrow. I quit today when I was at 36 hours. That gives me 4 tomorrow for the meeting.
4 hours.
That's it. So
well, there you go. I mean, I've been watching the weather today, and of course, you know, for the last few days, it's been saying, "Oh, it's gonna rain." We'll get like a little bit of sprinkle or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, I was out with my cats the other day because it just started pouring, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I got to cover them up."
Right.
So I went out there, and I got rained on. Right. That rain was even hot. I was like, "This is not even refreshing. This doesn't even feel good." You know? And it's supposed to rain again tonight. So hopefully, since it's, you know, the sun's going down, it's going to feel a lot better this evening.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. They
say next week, if you work outside, like we're literally going to be in hell because I think our temperature here is the actual temperature is supposed to be 97.
Ah, gosh. It was 102 when I walked outside today down here.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. It's like, you know, you take a shower, then you walk outside and it feels like you got to take a shower again.
Oh, I hate those. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly it, you know. But, you know, I've been, you know, talking about a little bit about the trip we're taking next weekend. I talked about it last night a little bit. And I'm super excited. So I'm gearing up. I'm kind of happy about being able to go somewhere again. I mean, that's what I live for. We were talking about this is our social life here.
It is. You all are people.
This is our social life. Everyone in chat and everyone who talks with us. Hey, thanks for being my social crew. Yep. But we do have to talk just a little bit about, and we'll play the thing at the end. But of course, time is closing in on this conference, September 19th through the 20th. Hey, these conference tickets are still available. Vendor spots are still available because we have a lot of vendor spots. We have a psychic gallery reading with Mary Lynn Bass that's still available. And for all ticket holders, Thursday evening is going to be a pre-party social evening. Yeah, it's going to be a pre-party social evening. That's what we're going to call it, a social evening. And again, that's for all ticket holders. And like I said, get your tickets. Get your tickets, because you can't come without your tickets. We had that question last night. And unfortunately, we decided as a group, you have to have your ticket.
Yep. Or you can be a vendor and come.
Or a vendor, yes.
Yes. And the place where we're having our pre-party, social party, whatever Brandy just called it, is where there are Bigfoot out there. And another fellow researcher actually saw a dog man. So
yeah, and it is a haunted location. I've seen things and heard things out there also. I haven't investigated the place like I would other places I've been, but hey, we were just walking around and hearing and seeing the stuff. So we didn't even really have to do anything but just hang out.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. So come and see us, come and have a good time. And we have a whole plethora of speakers, everybody from UFOs to Bigfoot to the Fae to Ghost, you name it, they're going to be there. And we have a lot of special guests too that are coming. And, it's really turned out to be it's going to be a really, really great event. And I think the last I heard, the special guests that are not on the flyer is DAY Song. She's coming. And then she's an author. She's been on our show. She's been on BMR show numerous times. And then we also have Harley Owens. And most of you guys know Harley. He's been on all of our shows. So
he's coming. Right, exactly. So make sure you go to Eventbrite, because we are only selling tickets for the speaker portion. And once those are gone, they're all gone.
Yep.
So we have to go buy fire code, everyone.
Yep, we do.
So make sure you get your tickets and get them soon before they're all sold out. And again, that gives you admittance to Thursday night. So don't forget that. I don't think Friday night should be called a meet and greet anymore. It is, but it isn't. It's kind of like it's just a special night with extended conference stuff.
Right. So just come and eat with us.
Yeah, come eat and have some popcorn. We're going to listen to a few speakers. We're going to watch a documentary. Hey, it's going to be a really relaxed atmosphere. So make sure you get your tickets for that. That is Friday night. But anyway, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, let everybody know Friday night too. That's coming. We have our Friday night speakers are Martin Groves. He chose Friday night. He wanted to come on Friday and speak with everybody. And then Miguel Ramirez, Sasquatch Theory. He will be also speaking on Friday night. And then we have Chris Garetano, who is going to be showing his new documentary. So
yes,
that's all we'll say about it. We're done.
We're done. But we're gonna have to keep talking about this, because we don't want anybody to forget. Not like you could.
Yeah.
Just say not like you could.
Not like it's all over Facebook or anything.
Right, but for the amount of stuff that you can do and see and stuff like that, and for the price, you can't beat it, everyone. So just get your tickets and get them fast.
Yep. All right, we're going to get on with the show. We have Adam from the Half Inch Wrench crew. We're going to go ahead. He looks ready. I'm going to bring him up. Hey, hey,
hey. He looks funny to me. Hey.
There you go.
Okay, so we were talking about you last night, and I have to ask, how did you get the name?
Well, it's actually kind of funny. So we started racing lawnmowers back in 2008, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to all of us racers, every racer would get together in the same garage, and we would all together put our machines together. And then the next weekend we would go race against each other. And every time we would come into the shop, we'd be like, hey, the half-inch wrench crew's here. And that's just the name we all give ourselves
okay.
while we were
That's
doing
awesome.
that.
That's awesome.
Well,
So
we were wondering if it had to do with
YouTube.
something. Yeah, I was just wondering if it had something to do with missing tools.
Yeah, well, that does play a factor.
Real quick, shout out to Hellbent and Holler. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe to them too. They are fantastic. Yep. So good to see you, Joe and Jesse. And I'm going to drop your link in the chat too. So if you guys have not subscribed to the Half-Inch Wrench Crew, please do so, because you guys are actually out in the field. Like, you guys put out good stuff, good content. And I've been subscribed to you for a while. I actually found you through Sasquatch Theory, through Miguel. That's how I found you. So, and that was quite a while ago, honestly, like, because I've been subscribed to you for quite a while. So anyway, I just dropped your link in the chat. So if anybody is not subscribed, please go and show them some love.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And then, okay, so Brandy, you took my question.
Well, we were talking about it last night on the show. I was like, well, I'll ask as soon as I get on there. I'll ask.
Right. So let me ask you. You said that you had an encounter in 2011. Is it something you can are willing to share?
Yeah. So let me start by saying I don't know what I encountered. Okay, but this is what happened. So me and the neighbor boy, one of my best friends, lived down the road. He was 17 at the time. And him and his girlfriend got pregnant while they were still in high school.
Oh, okay.
And so he was kind of going through a lot in his life. And he was coming home from school one night. I mean, he would get out of school, go to her house. When it got dark, he had to be home. So when he's coming home, he sees something standing on the side of the road that had red eyes. And that's all he could really see was its eyeballs. It was red. And he said he floored it in his car, and the second he passed that thing with the eyes, he blew the motor up in his car. And he was so close to his driveway that he coasted to his driveway. And he called me because I lived less than a mile from where he lived. And I come over and helped him push his car up to the house. And he thought that it was the Mothman because he got all this bad news. He found out his girlfriend was pregnant. His car blew up and his phone quit working. And he's like, it was the Mothman. It had to be. So
I could see how you would think that.
Yeah. But for me, I grew up in this superstitious playground here. I'll say that. Like, my family has all these stories of all these Bigfoot, paranormal, UFO, all this stuff that happened on our property. But I didn't see anything growing up, so I was really superstitious about it. So me being me, I kind of made fun of him for it. Like, oh, the red eyes are going to get you, Cody. Don't let them get you. And he'd be like, shut up, man. And one night, a new Call of Duty video game came out. And instead of letting me come pick him up, he's like, I'll be over your place in a little bit. So he walks from his house to our house, and it's dark. So he's walking, and he had done this a couple times before. And one time I'd actually jumped out and tried to scare him, like almost to our house. And I didn't really scare him because Cody isn't scared of nothing. But anyway, he's walking, and he thinks I'm trying to play a trick on him. Like, my phone rings, and we only got signal on one spot of our house. We had to put our phone up in the window at the front door to get cell phone signal. So my phone rings. I answer it. It's Cody. He says, "All right, quit messing around. Come out. I seen you. Quit messing around with me." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?" He said, "I seen you. You're standing over there." I'm like, "Cody, I'm at the house. Listen to the front door. You know, I can open the door and shut it." And he got real quiet, and then he started screaming. Or no, he got real quiet. And I said, "What is going on?" He said, "Come get me. Come get me right now. I seen eyes." And before I could get another question, I just started screaming. Like, he was screaming like he was literally being murdered. And I didn't know what to do. I just ran outside, got in a truck. It was my dad's truck. I actually stole his truck without permission. I got his truck and just took off, run down the road, picked him up. And I've never seen my friend so upshook. The truck had like a bench seat in it, and it was a manual truck. So when Cody got in, he sat in the middle because he was 100% sure something was coming in that truck to get him. And he was hysterical. I mean, he was just losing his mind over this thing. But we get him back to the house, and we get him calmed down. And I'm like, "Tell me what happened." Cody said that when he was walking, he had heard some rustling, turned around, seen a shape that was about the size of me, and he thought it was me. And that's when he called me. But he said when he heard that front door, he took, I think it was a BlackBerry cell phone, and he just used the screen to see. And he said he seen red eyes, and they were, 20 feet from him. Wow. And that's when he started freaking out. And he said, I was running, and he said this thing would like run all the way up to him, and then it would stop, and it would let him get a little bit more distance. And it would catch right back up to him, and then let him run and get a little bit more distance. And he said every time he did that, he thought he was dead. Wow. Because he's running, this thing would just catch up to him and like it was nothing. Mm-hmm. And that freaked him out bad. I didn't mess with him as much after that because that really screwed Cody up. Mm-hmm. So when Megan found out she was pregnant, Cody's girlfriend, that, what is it, like 2 months in the labor or 3 months in the pregnancy, I'm sorry. And Cody, Megan, and his entire family was all at the hospital while Megan was having a baby. Okay, mm-hmm. So they're all not home. Cody's mom had just got out of a relationship with a guy, and all of his things were there at her house. So she called me to say, hey, me and Darren broke up. All this stuff's at the house. He's not supposed to go there unless I'm home. Can you go make sure he hasn't tried to get in the house? So I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll run down there. So I go down there, and, I pull in their driveway, and I don't see nothing. They've got like a big field on the right side of their house, and then like a little pasture on the left with a small tree line there. And there's tree line behind the house, but I couldn't see nothing when I pulled in there. And their house had like a teardrop-shaped circle driveway. It was kind of not level, but kind of like that on the hill. And we never used that circle driveway. Mm-hmm. But when I pull up, I could see their 2-car carport. Darren's race car is sitting on a trailer. It's like a dirt car. It's sitting on a trailer. And I'm thinking, if I was going to get my stuff, that'd probably be the first thing I would get. Mm-hmm. And then, I pull up. We never used, like I said, that circle driveway. We'd always pull up in front of the house, and the front door would be on our left. And, you're so close to that front door, I could clearly see that there was nothing mm-hmm. wrong with the front door. And I thought, it's fine. And I almost got out of the truck, and I'm glad I didn't. Because when I put that truck in reverse and looked in the rearview mirror, I seen what I thought was motorcycle taillights behind the truck. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I didn't see a truck or a motorcycle behind me. And I'm kind of looking at like, is that a motorcycle? Where'd that come from? And then it started moving towards the truck. And I'm watching it, and that's when it all hit me. Like, those red eyes are real. Those are the red eyes. It was just kind of. It was the most terrified I have ever been in my life. Was realizing that Cody was not lying.
Right.
And they got like the reverse lights are on this thing, and it got close enough that I couldn't see what it was, but I could see the eyes where they stopped and they started bobbing like back and forth like that, like it was doing like a cat does with calculating.
Right.
But they were taller than the bed of the truck. And I started banging gears in my dad's truck, and I tore her yard all to hell. I was scared to death. And I went out on the road, and I had the girl that I was dating at the time rode with me, and she never seen anything. And she was always off in her own little world. But that was the moment that everything that Grandma told us, everything that Cody told me, just became reality.
Right.
I was so scared that I felt the blood leave my face. I remember being like,
wow.
My face is cold and pale. I can feel it.
Yeah. I can understand how that can happen too. I personally have not seen the eye shine, but Brandy did.
I have.
It freaked you out.
Yeah, it did. But again, with that, I have no idea what it was. Now, with what happened to your friend and what he told you and the experience you had, what exactly do you think it was?
I started researching for red eyes, and it was always related to Bigfoot sightings. So I assumed that's what it was. But after doing what I do now and finding out about all these other cryptid animals like dogmen or dogmen, for example, that's what I think it was, because I seen Cody a couple Halloweens ago. He had a Halloween party, and we took all the kids over there. And that got brought up, and we were talking about it, and he seemed to think that he remembers seeing very large ears on this thing that had red eyes. So it may have been a dogman. I feel like it was a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, but I'm not for sure. I didn't get a good look at it. I didn't give it a chance either.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, what state did this happen in? We had a question. Yeah.
We're in southeast Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah, that's what I thought. I replied back Missouri. So.
Yeah, it was West 72, about 11 miles out of town.
Yeah. Real quick, this is kind of a question for Brandy, and thanks, Josh. Says, didn't Brandy see that tent camping with Sean and the others a couple years back when she was in her car trying to sleep? Actually, no. When she saw the eye shine, that was at the Land Between the Lakes.
Yeah, that was at Land Between the Lakes, yes. Yeah. And that was a couple years ago, and actually Martin Groves was in attendance that evening.
Yeah, he was here with us. Sure was. Yeah. It was an interesting night for sure. I know you said that stage that you'd like to go to Land Between the Lakes, and it's worth going to, Adam, for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm outside in my ambulance right now. If I go, I'm taking this.
See, I've got that on my notes to talk to you about your ambulance, because I've seen it on your shows, and I've seen it on Miguel's. Yeah.
I'm in here. This is my tent.
It is, because I've seen that on the shows. What possessed you to get an ambulance? I think it's cool as shit, though.
I need one of those.
Yeah.
Those red eyes. Those red eyes is what made me want this. Yeah. I want to be able to go do what I do and sleep. And if something starts happening, I don't have to go from a tent to a car. I can just right there, just right here is the steering wheel. I mean, I could just out of here.
Yeah. That's really cool.
That is exactly how I feel now.
Yeah.
Exactly how I feel.
Yeah. Well, is the ambulance haunted? Just asking. Oh, it is.
I believe it would be.
Yeah. Me and Shelby went camping in it one of our old expeditions.
Yeah.
And
I think
those
that's
two
fantastic.
cabinets.
Yeah.
See, that little carabiner lock right there keeps those doors from opening because they will open. You'll be sleeping and you'll hear one open. You'll be like, what was that? Was that open? Yeah. Then you'll watch the second one open. Like,
yeah. And that makes sense. I agree with you on the tent thing because, still every now and then we will sleep in a tent. A lot of times, a lot of places we go to, we'll stay in a bunk room or something. But, we've done the tent thing. And Billy Schilling says, I'm with you, Adam. I'll never sleep in another tent. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to pack up and leave. You just get in the driver's side and go.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't have to pack up. You're just like, okay, I'll figure it out when I get home.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm not saying they'll stop them from getting in, but they'll have their work cut out for them, and it'll buy me some time.
Can you lock it from the inside? Just ask. Okay, there you go. There you go. That matters.
He has it reinforced steel in there.
Yeah, exactly. So after your first encounter and with your friend and the red eyes and all of that stuff, like how did you get into actually going out looking for these creatures? Because you're out all the time. Like you put out content all the time that you're out. So
ridicule did it to me. After I'm not lying, it really messed with me, and even some of my closest friends and family, I would be like, I seen something that really messed with me, and I would tell them, and I'd be like, it was a panther or something,
right.
Come up with something outlandish, just. And then when I would tell other people the same thing, and I just got like, it went from fear to motivation to, I'll prove you guys wrong, and I'm trying. I am. I'm failing, but I'm trying.
Yeah. Yeah. I can totally relate to, being ridiculed by even family and friends. However, now that I'm doing the show and stuff, thanks, BMR. Now that I'm doing the show and stuff, I have people that did ridicule me, like back in high school. Now they're messaging me, oh, I seen something weird, like they're wanting to know more about it. But yeah, I'm the weirdo,
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole ridicule thing. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either. We don't either.
It's like make fun of me. Do what you will, but I'll tell you what, I'm happy. I mean,
it's where we're at now. We don't care what anybody has to say. This is what we got. You take a look at it. You make sense of what you think it is, and that'll be it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's step out of Missouri for a bit. And I know that you went to the Pacific Northwest recently.
Yes.
Can you talk about anything that happened over there?
Well, a couple weird things that happened, actually. We were hoping to find something squatchy. We found a couple tree structures, but the weirdest thing that happened to us was we found this like an old concrete bunker / supply cache, maybe an ice box, because it was out in the middle of nowhere, out there behind the ski resort in Chewelah, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I have family that lives up there, and they kind of had a good idea where everything could be at. So they paved the highway for me. We got up there, and we went out there the night before, and we broke out a death whistle. And the reason I say that's because I think that's what caused the second night.
Gotcha.
We blew a death whistle, heard a couple weird sounds off in the distance. I couldn't hear it because my ears wouldn't pop. I couldn't hear anything while we were out there. But the next night, it was just me and Shelby. We go down in there. We're kind of walking around, and we found some cool stuff here and there. We just sat down and listened for a while, and I thought, well, let's go back up to that ice cooler, check it out. Now it's dark. Let's go up there. It's the best time to do everything is when it's dark. But we went around the bunker, and I was trying to mess with my camera. Shelby went in there. He actually had the GoPro on. And Shelby thinks he heard someone say hello, and he just hightails it out of there. I heard what I thought was a growl or a burp. I thought it was Shelby, but he just runs out of that place, doesn't tell me what he's running from. I freak out. I start running too. I mean, it was loud. Some people said it might have been a bullfrog or an angry bobcat. There was nothing in there. I wouldn't have cornered a bobcat, trust me. But,
sure.
Yeah, that happened. I feel like it was something paranormal, but I'm not for sure on that. There was nothing there. If there was, we ran right past it. But yeah, that happened, and then, like I said, I had some family up there, and we went up to the top of Cowspell Mountain. I think it was the tallest one that he could get us to. And on top of that mountain, some like satellite radio station of some sort. So we take his Bronco. His altitude was like 6,800 or 6,900 feet. And we get up there, and there's snow up there, and we couldn't get over the snow. So we stopped. We're just kind of looking around there. I mean, I thought I heard what sounded like a truck coming up the hill, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking down the mountain, and my cousin Jack, he's retired Navy. He flew for the Navy. He's like, that's a helicopter. I'm like, where? He said, he just pointed straight up. He's like, heading right for us. We were looking down. That's how steep this mountain was. We were looking down at a helicopter, and it was coming straight to us. And that helicopter, I mean, it did. It flew straight to us, and then it circled us for 35, 40 minutes. And it was a military helicopter. I think it was a Huey model, but that thing just kept circling us like they were watching us. We just stopped paying attention to them, and we kept filming and doing our thing, checking out this really neat mountain. The minute we got in that Bronco, started back down the hill, that Huey left. So I thought that was kind of weird. Like, out of all the hills and mountains they could train on or do whatever they were doing, they had to do it right on top of us. At one point, I could have threw a rock and hit them if I wanted to.
That's crazy.
They were buzzing as hard.
Do you think they were there looking for anything, or just
looking for us, maybe?
Oh, gotcha.
Or looking to see if you'd find anything.
Yeah, I felt like they were doing everything I could to run everything off.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
That's what I feel like, but I can't be for sure on that.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually, when you see something like that, I feel like there's something in the area. I'm like you, like either they're trying to run it off or you off. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You have a question here. Billy asked, did you ever figure out why they were watching you guys? So.
No door knocks yet.
Yeah, right.
I hear you on that. And hopefully,
go ahead.
We do have extensive security camera system here at our house because it's active for one. Two, there's still thieves out there. And we've went as far as putting them inside of our house because of our paranormal activity. And last night, I had a really hard time sleeping. I have a really bad anxiety issue I've been going through, and it makes it extremely hard to sleep at nighttime, like after you eat dinner. And I'm laying there. It was about 2:00 in the morning, and I look up in the corner, and one of our security cameras, IR lights were on, which means somebody had turned it on from the app. And I got on there, and I could not get access to that one camera. So I feel like I was just waiting for it to turn around and start looking around my room. I feel like somebody was watching us through our own camera. So I got up and I unplugged it and spun it around. It's like, that's kind of weird.
Do you know the history of like your house? You said that there's, probably, ghost or whatever. Do you know the history of it or anything?
Kind of and kind of not. I don't know 100% sure what exactly happened, but I bought this house from my mom and dad, and they bought this house on the courthouse square as a foreclosure.
Wow.
And these people left everything. They left their Land Rover, their Jeeps, their guns, their food, their jewelry, their guns, their money, their dogs. They left everything.
Oh my God.
Mom had been coming over here and feeding the dogs since we lived right over the hill.
Yeah.
And she was coming over here feeding them, and she left a note on the door saying that, hey, we'd be interested in buying this. And the bank had come out here to change the locks, and they found the note, and that's how they contacted Dad about buying it.
So either these people were scared out of there, or they were wanted by the law, one or the other.
I think it was wanted by the law.
Yeah.
Because the guy, I don't want to say his name, but he committed suicide here about 5 years ago for they found his girlfriend dead the same way they found his wife dead. They both burn up in cabins.
Oh.
And they suspected him for foul play, and he offed himself. So one of the weird things about this house, because we had so much stuff to get out of this house so Mom and Dad could move in it. They're in the kitchen, or the dining room and the living room is on the same side of the house. And where the hardware floor met the carpet, there was like a gold piece of, flashing trim. And there was a big blood stain in the carpet going towards the door. And then there was one boot print in between that carpet blood stain and the door. So we think that he killed her, and there was just too scared to go back there.
Oh, wow.
And she burned up in a cabin in Arkansas. Yeah,
but,
I don't know.
And how crazy is that? I mean, how are you going to commit crimes and then do them exactly the same way?
Right.
And he was a doctor. I'll say that much.
Especially when your name is already associated with the first crime. Why would you do it again? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because my mom tried to track down his wife so hard about, hey, do you want your jewelry? Hey, do you guys want your car? Hey, your dogs are still here. But no, she couldn't get a hold of nobody.
Wow.
Jeez. Well,
that's sad too. Like, how could they, if they can leave their pets like that, they'll do anything, I think. You know what I'm saying? Because my dogs are family, Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. So I could never do that. And for somebody to do that, like I said, even if you are wanted, I'd still take my dog.
Exactly. I might leave you, but I leaving my dog.
Right. Right. Wow. That's pretty scary stuff, really, if you think about it. Especially with the blood stain.
Yeah. Like, what is that? Why is it there?
Have you ever?
Well, yeah, because I wonder if they ever had that tested to figure out if it was actually human blood or was it animal.
Or have you used luminol?
Do what?
Have you used luminol?
What's that?
Like the police do, and then they put the black light and it shines if it's, like blood.
We didn't at the time. We just ripped up all the carpet, all the hardwood floor, and replaced everything.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That's probably the best. But unfortunately, if it were human blood, and that's just something that's tragic that has happened within the home. So I can see why you might have, some weird things going on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's the most active side of the house too.
Yeah, it's in the house. It's in the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your walls and your floors and everything has absorbed that tragedy. And, there's just that residual energy just hanging out.
Yep.
And, and I believe also that it could attract other energies into the home too, just because it's like a light bulb being turned on. It's like, hey, this is happening. Come on, come join us.
Right.
Well,
but I've had several issues. Yeah, I've had several issues in my home, and I have no idea why. Nothing has happened on the property. The people who built the house are still alive. All the kids are alive. nothing ever happened on the property. It's just, the light bulb's on, I think. It's just come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come
just
on.
never know, because you don't know what was on your property, Brandy, before your house was even built, because I know around you there's some old farms and stuff, some older houses,
Yeah, there is. But anything that was here before was all farmland, and before that it was reclaimed swamp is what it was, before that. So I'm like, okay, I can't find anything historically. I can't find anything, but that you're right, Krista. That doesn't mean nothing ever happened.
Right. Yep. And then you got to think too, we talked about this on one show too, like, Trail of Tears went through Missouri. You can't tell me, people didn't die on there, what they do with the bodies, So
exactly,
a lot of ground's tainted. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You just never know where people were at a certain time or what happened. I mean, could have been a horse and buggy going down the road and somebody had a heart attack and fell off. I mean, it's something like that, but you never know. But I couldn't imagine, I don't know, having security cameras in my home and them starting to malfunction and you can't access them.
Right.
That would freak me out a little bit. Because for one, I would think, okay, I'm being hacked. Mm-hmm. But if it's only one camera, I don't know.
Well,
you would
that's
think
the
your whole
first time
system.
Just the first time I've told anybody that. And my wife is inside watching this right now, and I guarantee you, she just looked up at the camera and realized that it was no longer pointing towards our bed.
Wow.
So she's probably like, really?
Well, you know what? Your mom is in chat, and she said the man who built the house died in the house of cancer. This is Adam's mother.
Yeah.
There you go.
What was his name? Roscoe. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just never know, and my thing is too, a lot of times that people, when they pass away, something about their home or there's something that, there's a reason why they're stuck there, and I don't feel like all entities are bad. I think some of them are just lost,
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. So let's come back to Missouri and let's talk about
cryptids.
I want to talk about the killing fields because I've been a longtime follower of Miguel with the killing fields, and I know you've been there, and I know you guys have seen and witnessed and captured some crazy stuff there.
Yes. Other than my brother's property, that is probably the weirdest place I've ever been in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, the property owner, David, he is a hoot. Him and his wife, Linda, they're just amazing hosts. They take real good care of us while we're out there. But I'm going to tell you what, that's probably the closest to Skinwalker Ranch that I ever want to go. That place is just like it.
Yeah. I could see that. Mm-hmm.
You got cattle getting mutilated. You got deer getting mutilated. You got cattle going missing. You got the strange lights. You got cryptid activity. You got vocalizations. Miguel, I don't know if he had talked about it on his channel, but he had actually seen a lady in a white dress down there where we had seen the orb before. And he said it spooked him.
Yeah. He told Brandy and I do you remember, I think we talked about that when we were at Emmaus with him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Talked about that. Yeah.
Miguel's seeing a lot of stuff, man. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff he doesn't want to talk about. I know that much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
and
I
respect
that place is, it's lit. That place is lit. Mm-hmm. It's very active. And sometimes we go there and nothing to happen. I mean, little stuff happens, but nothing like the big stuff has happened. And there's stuff that goes on out there that neither one of us have told anybody about out of respect to David and his wife. But yes, the killing fields is no joke. I'll take that to my grave. That place is the real deal. Yeah.
And, here's the thing, too, because there are so many places, we've talked about this a lot, actually. You got Skinwalker Ranch, you got Bradshaw Ranch, you've got Marley Woods right here in Missouri. You've got, the Meadows down in Georgia that, you've got so many of these places that have all of that. there's got to be a common denominator, something, that links all of these places, because even Emmaus, where we go to, we have all of that, every bit of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is, I guess that's my thing, like what I want to know, why there's something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's causing it? Why is it happening?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I had never seen an orb in my life until I went down there with Miguel. The very first time he took me down there, I seen the light going up the hill towards our camp, and I kind of like cleared my eyes, like, was that a red firefly? And I'm thinking, it's first time out with Miguel. I didn't be like, hey, there's weird stuff happening everywhere. Did you see that light? Did you see that light? I didn't want to be that guy. And he smacked me on the shoulder and goes, did you see that? Did you see that light? And I'm like, oh my God, I did see it.
Yeah.
I guess, holy crap. I didn't want to say anything because I'm still trying to figure out what I've seen. But I only seen it it was very brief, enough to go, what was that?
Sure. I get it.
He's seen it.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. Now, were you close to the orb or were you at a distance from it?
And what color was it?
Red. He said. I think he said red.
Yeah, it was a red color. Not too bright red. It was kind of between orange and red. Like a
brandy.
little darker than a cherry on a cigarette. Mm-hmm. But I'd say it was about, because it was dark, I'm guessing here, 30 yards to 50 yards away from us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going through the trees too.
Yeah. So my question to you is, the one I saw a red orb too, but mine I saw was at Land Between the Lakes. But the one I saw, seriously, it was about the size of a beach ball. It was huge.
Wow.
How big was the one that you saw?
Baseball to softball size.
Gotcha.
It wasn't real big.
What?
Yeah.
And I guess orbs. I always get red orbs. I can always spot them. I don't know why. I can just always spot them. Krista and I were down in Arkansas, just outside of Falk, and I'm like, did anybody else see that red orb? And they're like, no. But then it came back and did its little thing, and then it was gone again. And everybody saw it after that, and it wasn't too big. I would say maybe a golf ball, but I don't know why it was appearing there.
Yeah,
that was the strange thing. So I'm just wondering if maybe red is associated with something we're not getting yet. We don't have that. We don't have that answer to why we're seeing red in the woods primarily. That's where I'm seeing them the most, is in the woods.
Yeah.
Right.
So our friend Greg Ogles too, he, has had numerous accounts with the orbs, and he actually has, like intelligent responses from them. Have you guys tried anything like that to communicate with them or anything?
I personally haven't. It's still kind of uncharted water for me. We bought lasers and stuff to try doing that. We just have not tried doing it.
Yeah.
We've tried it with some of the moving lights in the sky, and I was kind of scared that the government was watching me like, I'm not supposed to do this, putting laser up in the sky. And they go, time to go away. Time to go inside.
Time to leave. Just don't put it in a flight path, a flight pattern of anywhere.
Yeah, or if you see the lights, don't shine it, because we do that.
Yeah.
I do it here, and I live in O'Fallon, Missouri, and you're in Missouri, so I'm not that far outside from the airport, and I just watch for planes and make sure there's no planes, and then I'll take my laser and put up there.
Right. Yeah. Well, normally if you're not in a flight pattern, you're okay to use it.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're out there and you're looking in the sky, you can see the satellite. You can see it.
Yeah.
It's, you don't even have to guess what it is. You're like, oh, there's a satellite. And then you're like, oh, there's a plane. And then you're like, what was that? And you're just kind of looking because there's no explanation of why it's moving the way it's moving. And and how fast it's moving and things like that. It just doesn't make any sense. There's some other unanswered questions.
Yeah. It's just there. And there's an app too you can put on your phone that our friend Terry has too when you're watching the skies, and it'll tell you, like if you see a satellite or you don't know, you just see something moving up there, you can shine it and it'll tell you whether it's a satellite or what it is. So I need to get that app from her, Brandy.
Because all you do is just point your phone and the GPS will follow it and then mark exactly where it is in the sky. And and tell you what's going on. It's absolutely fantastic. I do that with the constellations too if I'm trying to find one.
Yeah. Go back on the orbs. So Hellbent Holler says the blue orbs are concerning. If you see blue orbs, run, according to Skinwalker Ranch guys.
Oh.
And do you remember, Brandy, I think when we had Thomas Winterton from Skinwalker Ranch on, he talked about that.
He did. He did talk about that. But did you not see one at Tri-County Truck Stop? You saw a blue orb.
I did. So I saw and it was inside a building. So, but it was a haunted location. So it's just weird.
But because Thomas did say he was talking about that, how there was weird activity going on, and that was primarily what they were seeing out there.
Yeah, and Joe and Jesse say the blue orbs have been known to cause physical harm. So there you go.
Awesome.
Don't touch them. Got it.
You see a blue
stay
orb?
Away from the blue ones.
Yeah, stay away from the blue ones.
Right.
Yeah. So have you seen any other colored orbs out there at the Killing Fields?
The only color I've seen was the red color.
What's the red? Okay.
Yeah. Miguel said he's seen like a candle light color.
Yeah.
Like a small lighter flame color.
Right.
He said the one time he didn't have his camera and was just there basically visiting.
Yeah.
So it clicked on. He said it was lit for long enough to get a video of it. He kicked himself in the butt so hard over that. Now we have some good friends of ours, Jim and Mary, sorry. They come out and we'll literally set lawn chairs up at the camp and just watch the orb area. And they actually, their granddaughter Jansen had actually got the orb on camera.
Wow.
Me and Miguel, we've both attempted with GoPros with time lapse and just, everybody watches our videos, but what they don't see is the stuff we don't film where we're just sitting there watching hardcore, just straining our eyeballs all night. And they don't see that part of it. We try so hard to catch it. And
for sure.
Some of our friends got it. They actually got it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. We I've also seen like the white ones out in the woods too, and that was actually at the LBL. But it wasn't. It was just out in the middle of the woods. It wasn't. There's no cemeteries around, and there was nothing but woods. So I don't know. I don't think it matters.
I don't think it does either.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a transfer of energy.
I was just fixing to ask you, what do you think an orb is? Because I have no idea what they are.
I'm at the point, I mean, obviously we don't know, but, could it be like an alien type being? The different colors maybe mean different things. Maybe like the blue ones are Dogman and the red ones are Bigfoot, and the white ones are an alien. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it's a transfer of energy because we all have energy, and then when we pass, or even when animals pass, things like that, we all have energy. It's got to go somewhere. It just transfers. It doesn't dissipate or disappear. It just transfers into something. And I'm wondering if this is just something where it has nowhere else to transfer to, so it just kind of is on its own. I don't know. It's just a theory, but then again, it's all theories.
It's a good theory.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about like gifting and things like that when you're out in the woods?
It kind of scares me a little bit because we basically do a lot of our research right here in our backyards between my property and my brother's property. I'm kind of scared to do it because I know this sounds really crazy. I'm
Nothing
trying to get a
sounds crazy
video
on
one.
this show.
I'm trying so hard to get a video one, but I do not want them at my house.
No, I don't blame you.
But I do think it works.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. We placed a rock, or not we, exactly. My daughter put a rock in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
It was a heart-shaped rock, and we left it in a little tree down at what we call the catfish hole. And me and Shelby kept documenting it, and it fell down, and we put it back up in there. And like a couple weekends go by, we go back down there, and that rock's gone, and there's a bigger rock higher up in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And we were both like, "You're not messing with me, are you? Like, you can tell me you're messing with me, because it's not, why?
Right.
Shelby was just astounded and speechless as I was. Like, there's a big rock in a tree, and how did it get there?" And I think that was them. Like, it was like that game. You go higher, you go higher, you go higher.
Yep. Yeah.
But we did put another rock in a tree, on the tree next to it, and nothing happened after that. The test rock is still in the other tree. Nothing's happened yet, but we've been keeping an eye on that.
Right. Me personally, I don't have a problem with gifting items like you're doing. I do have issues, though, gifting food. I think it's kind of like a bear. A bear starts getting food from a certain spot, they're going to keep coming back. And then when that one time you don't have it, they're going to try to break into your house or whatever. Because a bear will do that. So I definitely frown upon gifting food, but like, items, I really don't have a problem with that. What about you, Brandy?
Oh, I like gifting like little things like toys. Little toy cars or whatever, just little things out there that they could, they could play. Now, our friend Tex, he had a really great idea. He never said that it worked or anything, but he took all these kazoos out there and he was blowing on this kazoo all the way out there and just leaving these kazoos everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then he laid one down, but he said he never heard one, but that would have been pretty cool if he did. You know what I mean?
Great idea.
That was a cool idea that he had, and they're just cheap little toys that you can just go out there and lay down. And it would have been really cool if he would have caught that. But I mean, as far as I know, they didn't hear anything. Because we know for a fact, Chris and I, for a fact, they're attracted to sound. So we try to make different sounds when we're out there, and we don't, not necessarily the whoops and the tree bangs and all that. We don't try to do that all the time. We try to introduce sounds to them that they wouldn't necessarily hear out of the woods, just to get their curiosity going. And Chris, I think we should do that. I think we should leave kazoos or something easy like little whistles or something out there to see if it would attract them and get curious to see if they would use it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I like that idea. Yeah. You hear a lot of people, leaving the food though, and I just, I just can't. I couldn't bring myself to do that because there's some time when I'm not going to have that food, and I don't want to make enemies out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I think that it could promote aggression, especially if, like I said, they're getting used to it, and then they're in a bad mood one day, and they get out there, and then there's nothing out there. So guess what?
Yeah,
they're going to throw a tantrum. They're going to throw a tantrum and then go try to find it. They're trying to look for you and look for the food. So I don't agree with the gifting of food at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Adam, I would definitely love for you to come to Emmaus.
Oh yeah.
And check that out.
I have a couple paranormal investigating tools. I've got one of the spirit bells, spirit box, the good old fashioned death whistle, and a couple cell phone apps. But
Yeah, well, we don't even have to investigate the paranormal. That's the thing. That's a crazy thing about this place. Like the woods, and Miguel can attest. He was out there with us. Like they're crazy. It really is. And the sounds you hear and the skies.
We were all outside, and we were watching paranormal activity going on inside. We were outside.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even have to go in.
Right. And we've had that happen before too, because there's a church there that's way up on top of a hill, and there was no living people in there. And we watched a person through the lights, because they keep a low dim light on at night, like walk back and forth through the windows, and we weren't even in there. Nobody was in there. We even had investigators go up and double check to make sure there wasn't any living people in there. So,
right.
So, but yeah, we would love to have you, next time Miguel comes back, come with them and definitely, investigate the woods with us. Cause
But how often do you encounter paranormal with the cryptid? How often does that happen to you?
Well, me and Miguel, we have a saying, and I do believe it's true.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk about paranormal stuff, the paranormal stuff starts happening around you, especially when he's around. I don't know what it is about him, but he says, we were in the Mark Twain at Bill's place, and we were running audio, and everybody else had went to bed, and Bill had an obsessive amount of those solar-powered motion lights coming down the driveway and all the way around our research cabin. And Miguel was standing there, and he's like, I don't like talking about this stuff, because I was talking about paranormal stuff. And he's like, I don't like talking about it because when I do, it starts happening.
Yeah.
But, he tells me this absolutely terrifying encounter with something that was paranormal. I would say paranormal. And I don't want to say nothing, but he told me this scary story.
Yeah.
And as soon as he finished it, stuff started happening.
Mm-hmm.
Those motion lights started kicking on, and they were getting closer, like boop, 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 like something was walking towards us, but there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And then my watch, it had an alarm for 11:30, and every 5 minutes my alarm would start going crazy. Just back to back. It never did that before.
Yeah.
It hasn't done it since. He had lights for his camp. They started acting up. It was honestly, it was creepy. And he's like, this is why. He's like, this is why I don't talk about it, because this stuff happens. This right here. I told you, man. I told you. I'm like, wow. He went lying. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Real quick, your dad is in chat, and he said, this is Dad. Why did your monitor come on while you were talking? And I did see it behind you. Something came on, and
yeah, it's talk about paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what though too, I believe as far as the paranormal, and even like going out, cryptids, any of it, like we know people who are into the CE5 and do the thing with the aliens. That's not what we do, but we know people who do it. And that's, I think it's all about your intentions. And like you and Miguel, you guys both have good auras and good intentions in going out there. You're not going out there to shoot anything. And I feel like, same thing with going into a haunted location. If you go in with good intentions anywhere, it's they can tell. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you get more action per se.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, I think that even if if you've had an experience of any sort, I don't care if it's paranormal, cryptid, or whatever. I think all of it, all the weirdness can be or will show itself to you at one point. I don't know why, but it seems like that people who have had experiences continue to have experiences. That it just doesn't stop. It's not a one-time thing. It just, if you're interested and leave your mind open, they just continue to happen. And I think that's a lot like what happened with Krista and I is, we have experiences and we're open to it, and it just keeps happening. Because some people are very closed off. Once they have an experience, they're like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. And I believe that they really do close themselves off. So it does quit happening. Mm-hmm. But I think in your case, Adam, that, you're curious, you want to know, you want some answers. So I believe this stuff is going to continue to happen for you.
Yeah.
Especially because you got a really good, research area and different locations to go to. I think you're going to have some really good success out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The paranormal stuff has followed us pretty much our whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was going to, paranormal stuff will push you so close to the edge of almost calling 911 because you think someone's in your house.
Yeah.
It really does. It does happen. And I thought for sure one night I was going to have to shoot somebody in my own home because I thought somebody done broke in.
Wow.
And after clearing the house, there was nobody there. And it was kind of terrifying, to be honest.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like, too, with, I believe that they're all connected, the cryptids, the ghosts, the UFO type thing. There's more to it than we all know about, and I think it's all somehow related.
Mm-hmm.
I also believe that. So, like, I personally started doing the paranormal. That was my thing, and then the longer I did the paranormal, like the cryptid thing started happening to me, and then like now I've seen UFOs and things like that. So I feel like once you're open to one, it opens up to another, to all of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like your body emits a frequency naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like once you start paying attention to one thing, your frequency level changes. And it's like that frequency draws the other paranormal stuff and then the cryptid stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that could be, but that's what I've always theorized. Like certain people seem like they're marked. Like I had this and this and this and this and this and this and that and this happened, but my neighbor has never had anything happen.
Sure.
Has never seen nothing. I can't explain that part of it. That's the only way I can. Like maybe certain people are marked, or just a magnet for all this weird stuff. Like my friend Zach that lives across the highway from me. He lived in town. When his dad passed away, he inherited the property. He grew up out there. Nothing weird ever happened.
Right.
Now that he's out there, all kinds of stuff. He's paranormal stuff, orbs, strange lights in the sky. He has seen a Sasquatch on 2 different occasions over there, and he was completely oblivious to all of that stuff until he moved back home. And I think that's because he started paying attention and his frequency maybe changed and all this stuff started happening and just coming down on top of him.
Yeah. I would agree with you. Our friend Bigfoot Michigan Rob, he's the same way. Like he's had everything happen to him, including missing time and even in elementals, so it's just, I agree. Some people are just magnets to this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Like, I don't tell everybody everything that happens because I don't want to sound like that guy that, everything's happening, like my mom.
No, well, this channel.
It could have been anything.
Yeah. For sure.
This channel is the perfect place to tell all that weirdness. It's the perfect place because, we talk about all this stuff and weird things happen to us all the time. So, it's a great place on this channel with our people in chat and the people who watch. We get great comments and everything. It's always just easy to tell that hard story, and you know what I mean by hard is the one you don't want to say because you don't want people to think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, just
That's,
Bigfoot alone, or the word dog man. Some people think you're crazy just by mentioning dog man,
Right.
It's the word.
Right, just the word.
When I started doing this, I didn't even know it was a thing. And then the more I looked into it, the more I started seeing exactly how many people were seeing the same thing, experiencing the same thing, and then start seeing real LBL, for example, like Joe and Jesse go out there. There's real stuff happening, and everybody's just not paying attention to it, just letting it go over their heads.
Right.
Dog man, I've never seen one, and I never want to see one, but I know they're real.
Yep, absolutely they are. You have a question here. Oh, go ahead, Brandy, and then I'll ask this.
I was going to say I want to see one, but from a distance.
Yeah.
See, I don't even really want to see one. I really don't have a desire to see a dog man.
I want to see one from a distance. I don't want to see one up close. No.
Yeah. So Britt Brat asked, what are your thoughts about the mimicking voices?
We have a lot of that here, but yeah, I see. I'm a Bigfoot investigator, but there's other things that go on here that seem cryptic but paranormal at the same time. Like we hear, like you'll have Bigfoot activity at my brother's house, and I will rush over there with my thermals, cameras, and you'll get all set up, and then you'll start hearing voices in the woods saying our names. Or, like, for example, one night, my Ford Explorer's transfer case was messed up. So we were rebuilding a transfer case on the tailgate of my dad's truck in Shelby's front yard. It was snowing. Shelby's boys, my nephews, went to my house to stay the night. Everybody's going to go sledding in the morning. We're working on this transfer case, and I very clearly heard it, and so did Shelby because he answered it. But I heard my nephew Bennett yelling from towards the house, "Hey, Dad!" And Shelby answered it, "What?" And then, "Hey, Dad!" He said, "What?" And that's when it clicked. I'm like, Shelby, the boys are not here. They're at my house. And it was clearly my nephew. I told Shelby was like tearing up in his eyes, like just kind of freaked out, like, just ignore it. If you acknowledge that thing, it's gonna know that's what it needs to do to get your attention. Don't acknowledge it. Let's just get done with this and we'll call it a night.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because do you take the boys out there with you at times?
Since I live here, and we live on the river, so the kids play a lot of time out there in the water swimming, and that's when it's most active here. Is during the summer when the kids are out playing in the water. Yeah. We're barbecuing. Everybody's outside being noisy. When it starts to get dark, we don't spend much time outside in the dark.
Gotcha.
Well, so that just tells you everything you need to know there. I mean, whatever it is, here's the kids playing and in the water and calling you or calling him or, so they hear these things. I always wondered that about Bigfoot too. Like if somebody spends a lot of times in the wood, because say if it were me and Krista and I'd be like, "Hey, Krista, come on over here," and you hear that a lot or whatever, it would know or try to mimic what you're saying. And so it could, or you could hear, "Hey, Krista, come over here."
Yeah.
Or something close to it.
Right.
I'm just wondering if they're using that to try to, communicate with us.
Right.
Yeah. It creeps me out when that happens. It's happened to my wife right here at the house before. So we have a big back porch. And we live out in the middle of nowhere, and we don't have a dumpster. So we have a landfill up here in the woods behind our property. So we take the trash out, and we have a lawnmower trailer that's hooked up to the lawnmower. We leave it parked next to our back porch, and we'll take the trash, throw it in there, That way no animals can get in the trailer or make a mess on the back porch. Me and Miguel were actually at Shelby's property. And my little brother, he has the most active property out of the two of us. He lives not even a mile from me as the crow flies. We live on the same body of water. Like we can float in kayaks from each other's house. But me and Miguel and Shelby were over there doing some field investigating. Brittany calls. Oh, my phone was on silent because we had the cameras running, but she calls my dad. My dad's standing there talking to us, and she's just, "Dad, get over here. There's something over here. It said hello." And we're just like, "All right, come on, Miguel." And we just take off. We get over here, and she tells us what happened. What happened was they threw a bag of trash off the back porch. It landed on the edge of the trailer. The bag busted open, and all the trash came out. Yeah. So Brittany and my daughter, she was six years old at the time, I think, maybe 5. They go down, and they start picking the trash up, putting it back in the bag. And Emma says, "Hey, Mom," my daughter, she looks at Brittany, my wife, and says, "Did you say hello?" And Brittany's like, "No, wait a minute." She gets her phone, making sure she didn't pocket dial somebody. And when she's looking at her phone, she's like, "No." And then she hears it, right? Because the tree line's like 30 yards from the back porch here. And she hears somebody say, "Hello." And she's like, "Nope, we're done. We're going in." Because there ain't going to be nobody out here. If you guys see this house, you would understand that there's nobody going to be walking around out here. And if there is, they're not supposed to be there.
Right.
Private property for 1. 2, why? 3, how?
Yeah.
So she said my pit bull that lives on the back porch stood up, started growling. She doesn't growl at just anything. So she puts Emma and the dog inside just in case it is a person.
Right.
He grabs a 30-30, our rifle. She stands on the back porch, and she hears something walk down the tree line towards the river and then start walking upriver. And about that time, me and Miguel pull in. She explains what's going on. She's shaking with the gun. "Hey, there's something over there. They can talk." We go in the woods. I get a kick out of her when she gets all worked up like that, but we looked around. We didn't see or hear anything. And we both had our thermals. There was another time that we heard somebody talking. It was pitch black and it thunderstormed real hard. And we heard people talking. And like I said, if there's somebody there, they shouldn't be because this is private property. So I grab my flashlight. I go out here where these people are talking to confront them. Sorry. I thought I heard something. I go out there to confront these people that are talking. And I get halfway across the yard over here on the side of the river here. And that's when I realized it's pitch black. I had to use a flashlight to get this far. If there's people out here, they're going to have a flashlight.
Right.
And that's when I stopped myself and went back because it was muddy. There's no footprints. It's so thick through there. There's no way somebody can just walk through that without a flashlight. There's just no way. I can't hardly drive my lawnmower through there.
Right.
It just make any sense. And I heard it too. I heard the talking. Like I was going out there, "What are you doing? Can I help you? What's going on?"
Right. I definitely believe that they can mimic because, you hear about them, mimicking animal sounds. So why can't they mimic our voices? I personally, I know Emmaus. I was at Emmaus one night and it was a public investigation we were there for. And we heard owls, but it wasn't owls. It was not, you can tell a difference,
Yeah.
Brandon, you were there that night. You heard it. You can tell what a real owl sounds like.
It was close, but there was something wrong there.
Right.
I mean, we were also hearing that night, we were also hearing cattle off in the distance, but they sounded like they were in distress.
Yeah.
but it was for I'm talking a long period of time. It wasn't just a little, it was a long period of time. And so, I mean, there was just odd things that were happening that sounded like or close to an animal that we know, but there's just something wrong with it. It's like it's close, but it's just not quite there.
Yeah. Or Lady Wolf says it's alarming when they mimic a baby. I've heard about, I've never heard that, but I've heard people talk about that,
Yeah. I've
My
heard that
grandpa
too.
experienced that.
Mm-hmm. That's not nothing I want to hear, honestly, because
it's scary.
Yeah.
Because first thing an adult thinks is, I got to get down there. Is this baby alone? Is there something wrong?
Exactly.
It's scary. You're going in, whether it's encrypted or not. You got to know.
Yeah. I have a. Let's see here. There was one. Oh, your mom. She says, Adam, tell the story about the Grim Reaper, if you care to.
Okay. So
if you're not
he starts laughing. Okay.
So when I was a little kid, we lived in Ironton up behind the old Porch store. And up behind the house was this old rock house. And all the neighborhood kids, because this is before phones, this is when kids used to be kids. We used to ride our bikes, throw rocks at each other, go kick the can, Arcadia stuff.
Yeah.
And we went up to this house this one evening, and there was probably 10, 15 kids there. I mean, the whole neighborhood was there. And me and my little brother, Shelby, were the smallest kids out of the bunch. I do remember that. And the rafters were all tore up, and all the big kids were climbing up there and, staying away from the little kids. And we were doing our best to get up there. I remember getting up there and seeing this hooded figure that looked like a Grim Reaper, but without no fast, just dark. I mean, it was the same color as the movie Casper, that oily smoke bluish color. But I only seen the shoulders up. I didn't see like a Grim Reaper sickle or anything, but I did see that. All the kids were screaming. They all jumped down. They were running. And I remember running. I had a Looney Tunes Huffy. I remember running beside that bike. I don't know why I wasn't on it, riding it out of there, but I wasn't leaving my bike. I remember that. And when I was a kid, that happened. And I grew up, never said a word to anybody because I always thought it was my imagination. I was a little kid. And me and Shelby used to live together when we lived in town. We'd split rent to save on money. And we were sitting outside one night, and he's like, I'm going to tell you something I never told anybody. And he said, and you were there. He said, I seen the Grim Reaper one day behind the house. We was all up there playing. I'm like, oh, I remember that. I seen it too. And it was just kind of like a yes and no. Like, yes, we did. I did see it. Oh, no, I seen it,
Right.
But he remembered seeing it with the sickle. And Shelby's 2 years younger than me, so he was a lot younger, and he remembered that. He said, it's one of my first memories as a kid was seeing that.
Wow.
You always think, like, how far back can you remember? And that's about as far back as he can remember.
Wow.
What a memory.
Yeah. That's really scary. Do you, what do you guys believe it was? A ghost of some sort, or really
Yeah, it was definitely a ghost. That's probably the only ghost that I've physically seen in my life. That one.
Yeah. Wow.
I have to say that, now that you're talking about that, my first memory, the memory that I can remember myself, is paranormal. It is paranormal. So I get it. I think it's just one that just sticks with you, kind of covers up everything else. The mundane things like what you wore or what you ate. It was just something that really stood out. But that's scary. That's a scary one. That's not just seeing a little mist or, a shadow. That is seeing hooded, cloaked figure.
And
That's
it was
scary.
in the rafters. Like,
Wow.
you know, we're way up in the ceiling of this house, and there's just these old beams. And there was no lower half. It was just the shoulders and up. And it was just, you know, kind of coming up and just there. Now the kids started screaming and ran, and I just got up there. I'm like, you know, I remember seeing it, then going back down and running.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes you wonder now that your friend's seen it and told you about it later, how many of those kids actually saw it, or how many kids ran because somebody screamed and started running? How many kids actually saw it, or did everybody see it?
Right.
And nobody talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always wondered.
That would be scary, you know, being an adult seeing something like that. I couldn't imagine being a child, you know, and seeing that.
No, absolutely not. I don't want to see that now.
Yeah, your area, you definitely have a lot of weirdness that goes on in your area.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Well, I haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg. It gets a lot scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I said, your whole area, because, you know, Brandy and I, we do go down to Arcadia and, you know, we investigate that location, and it's pretty crazy around there.
Next time you guys come down to this area, hit me up. You guys are just going to have to come over and experience it for yourselves.
Heck yeah.
It's worth experiencing.
Yeah, we'd love to.
I told Miguel that he come down and he captured 2 very clear whoops on his side of it, and we experienced a couple of other things we can explain.
Yeah. Brandy's really she's really not too terribly far. She's down in Butler Bluff.
Yeah, I'm down almost to the boot heel, but I'm not far from you at all.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, I got a kid coming in the door.
Got a kid coming in the door. You can hear it.
I got a kid coming in the door. She had practice tonight, so. So yeah. Anyway, what was that, Brandy? I didn't get your last thing. What you said?
Oh, I just said you got a kid coming in the door. I
do. Yeah, it's all good though. This hour and a half has went by really, really fast.
Yeah, it has gone by quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna have you back, Adam.
I can do that.
For sure.
Yeah, because we need to talk about the scarier stuff.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little teaser.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys about the time that the Bigfoot or Sasquatch tried to get in the cabin that Grandma and Grandpa had.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you guys about the big wolf thing that Grandpa seen that made the sounds of a baby crying.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you about some other strange lights that I've seen out there. And I'll tell you about a bunch of stuff that me and my brother have personally been through on the property.
Wow.
Well, that sounds amazing for sure. Because
have you back for sure. Because I think you're great. I think the work you guys do is fantastic. And you know, and what's really cool about it is you're in my backyard. You're same state.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like right here.
That's right.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Show me state.
You know what?
It'll show you all right.
Underrated for any of this activity. We really are. We're very much underrated, you know. And we'll have to do a collab sometime and get together. Like I said, your open invitation to come to Emmaus. You know, we'd love to have you out there and you know, see what you think too. So, and also open invitation for our conference, Crossing Rome, September 19th and 20th.
Okay. I was planning on being there anyway.
Well,
there you go.
There you go. Well, come on and we'll give you a table for a vendor spot, and your fans can come over and see you.
I'd be happy to meet some fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
There you go. So if you're giving us a commitment that you're coming, we'll start advertising you like we do Harley Owens and DAY songs. So
yeah, I'd be happy to be there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed to Adam's channel, I'm going to drop it again in the chat. Please do so. And we appreciate it. He appreciates it. And tomorrow night, we don't have a topic yet. We don't have anything yet, but we'll get there.
It's always a fly by the seat of our pants night.
Our Friday night shows are, yes. And Valley Parks, we are all in Missouri, all three of us.
Yes.
Yeah, but we'll come up with something and tune back in here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central. And Adam, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you for
thank
coming
you
on.
guys for having me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all later.
Good night.
Good night.
Crossing Realms Curry. Please mark your calendar and get your tickets before they vanish. Space is limited.